Well, here we are out at Sportsman's Park. It's kind of northeast of Tonopah, and I don't know. You look around. We'll walk around a bit, but it's just desolate out here. But it's amazing when you get out in the desert what a difference a little bit of water can make. So, so here's a sign to Sportsman's Park. It looks like it was built by the Rotary Club, and you come over this way. There's this nice pond out here and a bunch of picnic areas, shade structures on them. All these gates look locked. It might be locked up for now. We may not be able to get in there. So restrooms here, that's kind of a typical old style toilet. Nothing special about those. Got this attention sign. The town of Tonopah has planted white grass carp in the pond. These fish are worker fish. They are not invasive. They're sterile and therefore unable to spawn. They will help keep the pond clean and healthy. A clean and healthy pond will allow the game fish to be healthy, large, and more numerous. If you catch one, gently release it back into the pond. Here's the gate to get in here. A little bit of a breeze today, but man, it's just a nice little spot out here. But you look around, got miles and miles of beach around, nothing else. Then you got this pond and trees and cattails. It's beautiful. A solar panel over here for something. Walk over and see what that is. We'll walk around the whole pond. You know, the interesting part, I don't see any inlet or any outlet for this pond. In fact, there's the solar panel. I don't know, maybe a square yard, so or square meter, so 1,000 watts maybe. And there's some sort of equipment here. Not sure what that does. It doesn't work anymore. There's sunfish on it. Got your cables coming down from the panel though. leading out into the pond. Keep walking, see what we see. I think they got the cable just kind of bundled up there. Over there, you got two more little picnic areas, kind of secluded and based on the path. These don't get used nearly as much. Duck over there. Having a nice, peaceful time swimming around in the pond. Little barbecue pit. Well, you get away from this pond. A whole lot of sagebrush. Yep, but I don't see an inlet to these ponds. And if you look, it's not just natural groundwater, because this water is, I don't know, 5, 6 feet up above the elevation down there. So it looks like this is kind of a naturally man-made pond. If you look at the difference in elevation from the pond up to just the terrain, so I don't know, 5 feet above the surrounding terrain, maybe. Looks like this pond's been constructed. So, boy, look at that. Just the vast openness of Nevada. A lot of places in Nevada. Go around this side, over to the left, kind of more of the same. This barbecues, yeah, maybe. It's got a track. And you got this wash coming through here. Looks like that's been washed out for a while. The steep sides, it's like a sudden high flow. But you can see they're kind of eroded down. So it's been this way for a while. Vegetation growing on the sides. It's been a while since there was a lot of water coming through. Get kind of a wide angle shot here. Good, this thing is over here ahead of us. Looks like just a big metal. I guess it's well, now that top's welded on. Its top's welded on. I guess it's just a big metal serving table or something. First I thought it might be a grill. There's a couple holes in it. Water out. Not too sure what that's for. Got some handles on it to carry it. Here's another gate to leave. Guess that's Sportsman's Park near Tonopah, Nevada. So, kind of beautiful spot. If you look way up the distance, there's a cone-shaped mountain, and it seems, a cone-shaped mountain. It seems like that's kind of typical of the geology around here. I think it's a lot of volcanic style geology. Sportsman's Park. Well, I thought I'd stop and get a little bit of this panorama, just to kind of put you in the geographical setting. That's Sportsman's Park down there. I don't know. I wonder what this looked like thousands or millions of years ago, whatever, when all these volcanoes were all kind of active, smoke coming out of them. There's just a whole row of cones over there. So, wonder what it was like then. Probably where I'm standing is underwater, just surrounded by volcanoes. So, there's not too far from here in terms of the desert, around 500 miles or so. It's a Ichthyosaurus Park where they've got the fossil of a giant fish. Look at that road. It just goes straight on for a few miles. Okay, this is the Tonopah Aeronautics and Technology Park, otherwise known as the Tonopah Airport. It's a World War II vintage airport where they did a lot of testing and training, dropping bombs. They developed some of the first guided bombs, which I mean later evolved into smart bombs. But the whole place is for the most part abandoned. I walked around this thing for quite a bit, kind of trying to figure out what it was. It looks to me like some sort of distillation apparatus. It was originally, when it was in operation, it stood vertically and it's insulated. So obviously it was heated up. And a little bit later, I'll show you a gauge, a vacuum gauge that goes up to 1 atmosphere of vacuum. So basically, uh, no air in there, a perfect vacuum. Um, but I don't know what it was for. Maybe to refine oil or maybe to refine water for the higher quality for some kind of testing. So the white building is really kind of the only active part of the airport left. There's a few airplanes parked around there, probably for the mines, but just desolate. But up here you can see it's got that aluminum skin over a steel tank. And those bricks in there are some kind of fire bricks. I don't know if they're asbestos or not. I didn't poke around on them too much to find out. Some kind of valve there. It's all, I was looking at it, it's all high temperature rated stuff. And here's the vacuum gauge up on the catwalk. It's reads up to 30 inches of mercury, which is equivalent to 1 atmosphere. So basically, they could pump all the air out of that, and that's when that vacuum gauge would read full scale. And this hangar was neat. I mean, it's the kind of the hangar you see in all kinds of historical photos and stuff. It looks like the same kind of hangar that the Enola Gay was in up north of here in Wendover, Nevada. A couple new hangars there. The water tank for the airport.
As Sherry would say, this hangar's seen better days. Those big doors are on rollers and they just fold in behind each other. There's still a few of the windows left. Most of them have been broken out. What I really liked about this hangar was just the weathering of the hangar. I mean, it's been out in the desert 80 years ish, and the wood's all weathered. Um, the inside's just kind of abandoned. Looks like there's an airplane wing over on the right hand side, and the whole thing's made out of wood. Most of the shingles on the roof are gone. I don't think the roof's very waterproof anymore. You can see that old airplane wing on the far side, and just kind of stuff that's been abandoned in there. I like to think, what all went on in this hangar. There was a time when people were in there busy working on military aircraft, probably test aircraft, developing bombs. Who knows? They say if walls could talk, I'd like to listen to these. And I just like the weathering on this wood. That plywood, they used a lot better glue in that plywood than they have now. It's all still glued together. And just the weathering on this wood, the sand blowing against the wood for 80 years, it gives the wood a real neat texture. They try and simulate that texture with sandblasters today, and that's just naturally done. And I've always liked water and water accessories, as Hank Hill would say. And so I stopped to look at this old fire hydrant. It's a Mueller fire hydrant. They've had those around. There's still a lot of those in operation today. This is not a World War II vintage fire hydrant. There's the date on it. Looks like 1981. The standard is that all fire hydrants have the date they were manufactured cast into the body of the hydrant, and that one's no different. Up there's the valve so you can shut off the water to the hydrant to work on the hydrant, so the water main's out there some distance farther, hard to tell. And then the hose, I just got done using the hose and unhooked it so it wouldn't freeze and the hydrant could drain, and there it is. And that's the Tonopah Airport. Aeronautics and Technology Center. Here's the Tonopah Speedway. It's a cool sign. Jim Marsh presents Tonopah Speedway. Racing Saturday nights at 7 p.m. And there it is in all its glory. I like the prospector on the sign for the logo. They still have races out here. They had races in 2024 anyways, and I checked their website. They got the schedule together for 2025. So I've always liked these old circle tracks because I don't know, they're just fun. There's something that a guy like me could imagine and dream about racing in races out here. You know, it's not high dollar racing. It's get an old car and take out the windows, put in a roll cage, put in a little safety gear, and you're off to the races, as they say. It's a high bank oval. That's why you see that dirt mound off on the right. We'll get up here a little closer and take a look at the track as good as we can see it. So the track's operated by the Central Nevada Racing Association. Here's where you buy your tickets. You get your warning: no cans, no bottles, no containers, no ice chests, and if you're going to drink, pick your designated driver now. And there's the track. They've got a little memorial plaque for a couple of the people that were involved with it. In memory of Raymond L. Robinson, car number 89. That's the one on top. And down below, in memory of Robert Bob Owens. And I don't know, I just looked at that rock. I think that's really beautiful rock that they put on that monument. The seats don't look too comfortable. You probably want to bring your own pillow. And here's the Grand Army of the Republic Highway. Just straight, a lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing and plenty of room for all of it. Next gas, 100 and some miles. Probably a good time to look at your gas gauge. That next town would you get to would be Ely, Nevada.
So here's the road sign, Ely, 163 miles. Probably a whole lot of nothing between here and there. And then Delta, Utah is 317. Look at that road. Just straight on till morning.
And that's it. Thanks for watching Out and About with Tom and Sherry. If you liked the video, hit like. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this. It really helps us out. Thanks again.